J-Dog back with another goddamn video. And today's video, we're picking up where we left off, goddamn, from yesterday. Just kept scrolling. There's still some fucking goodies on here that need reading on the fucking Is Fenris the Underground Lemmy Icon video with 110 comments. Saw a bunch more question marks and talking. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to stay on this fucking video because there's some good shit in here, goddamn it. Even though I'm, what did it say, 2 weeks behind on this one, so at least I'm not fucking at 3 weeks no more. So I just figured, fuck it. I mean, I don't like being behind, but good questions are good questions, goddamn it. So first one is Disguster666 Die. I think I kind of recognize that user ID too, which I like it, brah. I like it a lot. The fucking bonus points if you know the line. Oh, I like it. Put in the goddamn comments if you know that line. It's a goodie. The 15-year-olds won't know it. Devil Dog, what are your thoughts on Tom G. Warrior playing Hellhammer songs in 2022? We'll get to that. Cold Turd City like his techno dance rap crap later is god awful. Dude, I've said honestly, dude, I'll go as far as saying this. I've never said it publicly because I never really thought about it. I think later Celtic Frost, I'm gonna have to say it. I think it's worse than later Metallica. Like I said, I never heard anything after Load, but Load was the latest thing. Load is Turd City. The Load fits it all. A load of shit. A fucking load of dicks. That's what that fucking album is. So the title is fitting. I gotta say, dude, Frost is worse, man. Some of those dance shit and stuff, and it just looks ultra homo too. Just the whole appearance of it, the guys. I mean, at least Metallica just looked like a bunch of fucking sellout wimps when they did the cut their hair and all. Everything all looked like just a bunch of we're professional now on the back of Load. At least I haven't seen it in fucking 20 years. That's what I remember it being, anyways. Maybe I look at it now, but they don't look too bad. Just cut their hair, but maybe fuck, who knows? Maybe they're wearing like an ex-Mortis shirt or something. Doubtful, but who knows? But yeah, I gotta say it. I think Frost is worse. I know that's gonna offend some guys because I've met a handful of people in the last 10 years or so, which I was shocked when I first met my first one, like real metalheads too, like people I know that are true metalheads. I like every Frost album. Almost fell out of my fucking chair when I heard that. I'm like, what? I didn't even think that was physically possible. So you learn something new every day. Where the fuck did I leave off, goddammit? But he's one of the all-time greats. Does he get a pass? We'll get to that. The videos of them playing MDF sound fantastic. That's what Dawn of the Dead said. It's a shame Martin Ain isn't alive to be part of the Hellhammer live set. Yeah, and I guess I asked Don, I was like, why does he call it Triumph of Death? Why doesn't he just call it a Hellhammer? I'm assuming some legality reasons. I guess what Don said, I don't know if Don has the inside scoop or someone told him or whatever. He said because it's without Martin and they didn't want to carry on the name. I personally still would have called it Hellhammer because, I mean, the way I look at it is kind of like what Don's doing with Nunslaughter, for example. Yeah, Jim didn't start it, but Jim was a huge fucking proponent of fucking Nunslaughter. He's on every album prior to the last one just coming out, deceased, but kind of carried on the name. Like I know Jim would be like, yeah, I want Don to carry on Nunslaughter. I want the name to carry on. So I'm sure Martin's like probably just, we did this together, just carry on the fucking legacy of name. So I guess I see where he's coming from, but I would have just called it Hellhammer. Would have been cooler. So yeah, I again almost fell out of my chair when Don said it was very good. I think those were exact words. Very good. And because he doesn't like fucking anything. Thinks Ultras of Madness sucks shit for fucking crying out loud. So yeah, when you get him saying something's very good, because he's not gonna fucking he's gonna let you know. I was shocked. So must have been awesome. What do I think about him? Does Tom G get a pass? He kind of don't, in my opinion, to be honest with you. And the reason he don't is because we talked in earlier videos. A few videos ago brought up. He was the guy, I forgot. He literally said on record, I don't remember where, but I know for a fact he said this and was heard. I don't know why anyone, maybe not to a T, don't quote me, but along these lines, I don't know why anyone cares about Hellhammer. That shit is fucking embarrassing. I want nothing to do with it. And did that stuff I did when I was a kid. Basically, I think it was around the Triptychon time when basically people were like, maybe not saying fuck Triptychon, but like, what's this Triptychon? Just do Hellhammer. I think when he was getting offered for Fest and shit, and I know for a fact at least one Fest he was offered to do Hellhammer, $100 fucking grand, and he turned it out. And that's right around the time he said it. And I think those was in the early when maybe Triptychon was on the first album. It was somewhere around there. And I guarantee you, I'll bet you any fucking money it had something to do with like. He's thinking, well, no, how about $100 grand for Triptychon? Or something along those lines. Like, and they're probably like, Triptychon, dude, we'll give you $1,000. But then he's getting offered $100 grand for Hellhammer. And he doesn't even like it. He doesn't even like that music. So he point blank said it. He doesn't even like that shit. So He's this big all-time metal icon, created death metal fucking legend. Doesn't even like that shit, man. He's not even listening to that stuff. He's damn sure not listening to death metal and stuff. Fucking no way, Jose. Hard rock at best. Heaviest thing he listens to is AC/DC on a good day. So it's like, does he get a pass? Why? Why? As far as like you devils like that like us stuff. Don't wrong. I like Hellhammer and early Celtic Frost. On a personal level, like how we're talking and shit, and answer each other questions. Like, yeah, you might like some bands I like and not like, and vice versa. But we share some common interest bands. You'd be very hard pressed to like anything that guy likes. He'd probably every band you like, whatever who your favorites are. Whoever it is, Niflheim, Treblinka from black metal, Profanatic, it's a fucking gore grind thrash. Guarantee he doesn't like it. Guarantee he doesn't. So he just so happened to play on some recordings that you like that he even doesn't even like that. And then now, because you know this is what fucking happened, the only reason he did do it this year, needed money. Now, I can't prove that. I don't have that in writing, but that's what it is. It's 100% because he needed money. The money's, oh, fuck, may as well. 100 grand. I'm not sure what he got paid at MDF, what it is. It could be a hell of a lot less than 100 grand. I'm assuming it was. So I think the 100 grand one was for an overseas fest where they get, I don't know if it was Hellfest or Wacken or whatever, however the fuck you pronounce that, where literally several thousands of people come as opposed to MDF. What is it, like 2,000 people that attend or something? So the offer's going to be much, much juicier. But whatever the case may be, it's for 1,000% was only for fucking money. Again, just 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever he claimed, basically he's embarrassed by it. So kind of doesn't get a pass. The Global Institute of Metal. Fenris has as much personality as a wet tissue. Does he? I actually never. I want to say I watched one interview of him on YouTube, but I don't even recall what that was like. I know what he looks like in photos and shit. But yeah, I guess I can't even think what his voice sounds like. Yeah, I guess maybe I didn't. Maybe I just seen it vaguely. Maybe I saw a video and he was like, the icon and I didn't watch it. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know what his personality is. All I heard is I remember what was it? The other Norwegian guy saying, maybe they even said in Lords of Chaos, or maybe it was Varg or somebody. Maybe it was Varg. Because I watched a couple of Varg videos. I'm like, all right, you guys pretty much just a little bit off his fucking rocker. I was never really a Burzum fan, but just, it was Craig that told me about him. I'm like, oh, he's got a YouTube channel. I'll check it out. I was like, some of the shit is kind of funny. Some kind of made sense. Some kind of like, oh, he's just basically some racist hippie now. Like, what do I care what this guy has to think? But anyways, I think it was him that I think Fenris is basically just a drunk. I think that's what he said. I don't know how true that is. So that's the only thing I know about him on a personal level. Listens to metal and he apparently drinks a lot. Don't know if that's true or not. That's all I heard. So as far as the wet tissue personality, I'm unaware of it. From Devil Lord, I know people are going to disagree, but the Incinerate Them wasn't a bad Deicide album. Didn't like it at first, but took another listen years later. It's better than what's out now. Hail the Hoffman brothers. You know what? I agree. I don't think it's a bad album at all. I see why people don't like it. I liked it when it first came out. Now, when it first came out, I was like, this is a half-assed Deicide album. And when it first came out, I was like, the song Bible Basher is great. The song Worst Enemy is great. I was like, and it's got some songs. I didn't think anything sucked on there, but it had parts that I thought were kind of sucked, like chunky, slow, that Deicide would never do, and just boring. Think like on the what is it, The Gift That Keeps on Giving has parts like that. But there's no songs I thought sucked, but there were songs on the album that I thought had parts where I was like, I would have changed this, cut this, or filled it with something different. But as a whole, I liked it. But I remember, when it first came out, I think I was like, yeah, there's a few songs I don't like. But knowing it over the years, like I said, I don't think there's any songs I don't like on it, just parts that I was like, I would have changed that. Again, I understand why someone still wouldn't like it, but as a whole, I enjoy it. I think it's a good fucking record. I really do. I don't agree. I think like the last 3 Deicide albums, Send It Home on a Stretcher, like, I thought the last Deicide albums, Overtures of Blasphemy, I fucking think that album's great. Like, I love it, head to toe. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as giving it a 10, but probably a solid 8, 8.5, 8 to 8.5. Definitely thoroughly enjoyed it. So I happen to agree with you there, brah. J104. Hey, J Dog, I was arguing about this with arguing, huh? About this with a buddy of mine and wanted your thoughts. What do you think makes someone a real metal fan? In my opinion, it means you have a desire to explore the genre beyond the surface level bands. If you only listen to stuff like the Big Four, Pantera, even stuff, Pantera, even stuff like Cannibal Corpse or Death, and ignorantly think that's all you need and don't want to seek out any more, I don't think you're really into metal. Yeah, I would agree with that. That's a pretty good way of wording it. Because, like, literally, like, yeah, you just basically like the big bands that are thrown in your face. You stood off there, stop there. That's why I say for like myself, I'm not a horror movie fan. Not. I like some horror movies. I like some offs. But for me to call myself a horror movie fan, because I have friends like Dan Merrill, Matt Putrid, Shane Von Ghoul from Lurking Corpses, they're huge horror fans. And I would feel like a fucking poser and a guy that needs to be punched in the face like these Slipknot homos claiming like death metal if I said I'm a horror movie fucking fan or a horror movie diehard, because I'm not. I like some movies. That's it. Just like, for example, my dad likes Black Sabbath. He likes Judas Priest. He likes Iron Maiden. If you went and asked him, do you like heavy metal? His exact words, at least when we were kids and shit, and even when he's telling, I don't like that headbanging shit. Likes 3 metal bands I just mentioned, a few others too that I'm probably forgetting. He likes a few metal bands, but he's not in the metal genre. So these guys you're talking about, okay, you like Cannibal Corpse, you like Pantera, you like Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, and say 5 other big bands. You're not a metalist. You're not a fucking. You're not the scene. You're not. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make us better or worse. It's just you're just not. But you like a few metal bands. You just like a few metal bands. For example, if you like, let's just say you're a metalhead and you like 1 or 2 like rap. Like I know some guys that like old school rap and shit. They're in the metal scene. I don't consider them into rap. I was like, he likes 1 or 2 rappers because whatever. He just does. I don't consider him into rap though. Just like 1 or 2 rappers. Same fucking thing. So yeah, you got to kind of know the genre. Like even bands, I'll go as like if you don't know, I've kind of said this. If you don't know bands like Nunslaughter, Sadistic Intent, Disaster, Exhumed, Sinister, throwing out bands that are well known, but they're not like Cannibal Corpse, Deicide big, like not that big at all. A few others. I could say Immolation, but even then, they're getting kind of to the point where they're pushing Cannibal size. I know they're not as big, but they're, you know what I mean? They're getting up there. So the bands I mentioned, though, if you haven't even heard of those bands, Repulsion for sure, too. Repulsion's another one. You're allowed to dislike them, whatever. Some people like different stuff and stuff. But the bands I just mentioned, if you've never even heard of them, now I think I heard them too. Like you never heard of them in the sense you don't have any clue what they sound like. Like Exhumed, like, oh yeah, I think I heard the name Exhumed, yeah, but you don't know, like, with the back, like, I'm sure Goatman, for example, watching, he probably doesn't like Exhumed, but he's probably heard them and knows what they are, what they're about, and like, I just don't like this stuff. Fair enough. But all the bands I mentioned, you never even heard of them. Just right there, to me, you're not in the metal scene. You're just not, because minimally you should have heard and know who those bands, what they stand for, what they're about. You just should. You kind of know what they sound like. It's either for you, not for you. You're a huge fan of them. You're not a fan of them. Whichever. But if you don't even know that, to me, yeah, you're not really a metal fucking fan. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, to me, if you're truly a fucking a true metalist, like Kanye would say back in the day, to me, dude, you collect CDs, you collect LPs, you live the lifestyle, you wear metal shirts, you're not going out in a fucking Abercrombie Fitch goddamn fucking pullover or some bullshit. I know some people are going to disagree with that, but to me, if the true metal lifestyle is that, collecting the format, because in all honesty, because outside that, like literally what else are you fucking spending your money on other than your bills? Always pay your bills and don't go fucking broke and be in the fucking dead house to buy records. That's an idiot would do that. Don't do that. But your leftover money, disposable income, what else are you spending your money on? Sneakers, cars and shit. I mean, that's fucking, and that's other people's hobbies. That's cool. That's not a metal hobby though. Metal hobbies, fucking collecting records and CDs and shit. You know what I mean? Cassettes, 7 inches, So that to me is like what a real fucking metalist is doing. If you want to go take it a step further. Imperial Nocturno. Hey, Justin, thanks for answering my question. Let's go back to the bodybuilding topic a bit. Oh, devils. They hate this. They hate this talk. It's them all pissed off. Don't like it, change the goddamn channel. Just like back in the day, you flipping through TV channels, fucking Saved by the Bell's on, man. I fucking hate this shit. Change it to Full House then, goddamn it. That's all you gotta do. There's 8 billion videos on fucking YouTube. Just change the goddamn channel. No need to fucking whine and cry. What are your thoughts on Frank Zane and Sergio Olivia? Cheers, Big Devil. It's a quick question, though. Devils for the Devils don't like it. Frank Zane, to me, I mean, I'm not really a fan. I mean, he probably had the best vacuum pose and fucking of all time. But I mean, in all honesty, break it down. And granted, this I understand because times are different, training's different, nutrition's different. They're taking way less fucking drugs back then. Hell, some drugs didn't even exist back then than what the guys are doing now. I mean, he was like competing at 185 pounds. To me, that's not that. And granted, he was and technically not even shredded by today's standards, with like glutes in, etc. Because that's the standard for this, like the last part where your body fats can come off. I mean, 185 pounds. What the fuck? I mean, I could tell you right now, if I got down, I haven't been under 200 pounds at all in almost 10 years. I get in the low 200s. Actually, I'm in the low twos now from dieting. But if I was to get contest peeled, shredded, every ounce of water using diuretics, everything, I'd be about that weight, probably 100, 180, 185 pounds. Like, so it's like, dude, he's my, actually, I think he might be even 5'11". I'm 5'9". It's like, so technically I'm fucking, literally, I'm kind of fucking either the same size as you or bigger. So I'm not really impressed by it. Now, granted, he has a better fucking genetic structure. His fucking structure, if you put me in a time machine, put him next to me, I'm peeled down, he's peeled down, he would beat me. He looks better because genetically he had a better fucking structure, God-given genetics, you know what I mean? So he would still beat me. But as far as just size and just impressive, like, I'm impressed with fucking Marcus Rule. That's what I was fucking impressed by. Sergio Olivia, I did like him for back in the day. He was one of the betters. Definitely somewhat genetic fucking freak. I've heard through the grapevine of things he would do. He'd diet with literally eating Twinkies and shit. I mean, he was a mass monster for back in the day. What did he fucking, he's basically eating Twinkies, got his protein in and shit, and just took fucking, testosterone and Dianabol, and that's it. And he looked like that. It's like, holy fuck. That's impressive as fuck. That's a genetic freak. Who I am a fan of is his son, Sergio Oliva Jr., who competes to this day. I like his clothing line a lot too. That's one of the only clothing I wear outside of metal t-shirts. Because they're kind of like fit well for bodybuilders, etc. So I have a few of his shirts. I like his clothing line, Victory Clothing. And I'm a fan of his physique. I'm a fan of his personality. So yeah, like him that. So. And as far as why we're just on the topic, I'll just throw it out there. My favorite physique from back in that day when you're talking about Frank Zane, Sergio Olivia, Arnold, so Arnold's era. My favorite physique actually of all time from back then was Serge Nubret, the French guy. That was my favorite physique from back then. What the 1003 didn't. I'm not sure what we were talking about. Didn't Hypocrite Max? This is Ishitin U666. He's saying 10 minutes 3 seconds. Didn't Hypocrite Max had red hair in that music video? It was so I don't. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about Max Cavalera from Sepultura, but I don't know what we were talking about. I don't recall what the question was. Vlad Tepes. I doubt that's the fucking band. Shout out to you, Rara. Question: opinions on paganism. I don't really have one. I think it's a topic that's acceptable to put in death metal, black metal. I'm not for it. I'm not against it. From what I understand, a lot of the Christian mentalities, it's like the Christian holidays and shit like that, is the irony it's came from fucking paganism. But don't know a whole lot about it, and it's not something I'm super interested in. But it's a dark topic and good for fucking metal. And anyone, if they were to tell me I'm a pagan or whatever, I'd a million times rather fucking hear that than a Christian. That I'm a Christian, and I'd be more intrigued to talk to them and have more interest to hear their opinion about, I don't know if you want to say religion or the dark side or the beyond or spirits or things like that. Not that I believe in any of that, all that or any of it, or that I do or I don't, but the topic can be interesting at times. But I'm just saying, as a whole, any of that type of talk, I'd be more interested in their opinion than some silly ass fucking Christian who just only believes that because it was shoved down his or her throat at birth, and that is literally the only reason they believe it. If you were born Muslim and that's what was shoved down your throat, that's what you believe. So you were 100%, in my opinion, a fucking sheep, complete fucking sheep. This is the last question of the video too, so it's perfect. We're almost at 20 minutes. Rocky's musical rarities. I disagree, J-Dog. No problem, man. More disagreeing, the better. We're here to fucking talk, goddammit. If we all agree on everything, then there's nothing to talk about. We can all just hold hands and fucking sing Kumbaya, right? So more disagreeing, keep them coming, goddammit. Put your comments in there and ask. The Black Album was definitely their sellout album. However, I do agree that Reptum sucks. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I can see that. The Black Album is see, I don't know if I consider it a total sellout album though, because at least it was kind of it's still considered a metal, as opposed on Load. Again, I'm only last time I heard Load was 1996. I believe that was the year it came out. Because I remember being like 11 years old when I heard it, and it was new. So I'm almost positive it was 96. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. That was the last time I heard it, and I never listened to anything since. My problem with was Load, and the reason why I consider that the sellout album is literally, I remember there being songs that were like, lack of better terms, borderline country, if I remember correctly, and definitely parts that were more like alternative. Definitely parts where I'm like, this is hard rock / alternative at best. It's definitely not metal, as opposed to the Black Album. I would just consider it a radio-friendly commercial metal album, kind of like Pantera. I don't consider Pantera not metal music. It is metal music. It's just radio-friendly commercial music, and there's damn sure fucking bands heavier than Pantera. Damn sure bands heavier than Pantera. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're not a metal band. I think they are. Limp Bizkit, I think, is a rap, I guess metal, rap core, rap with the guitar. Limp Bizkit just rap with the guitar, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but Pantera is actual metal band, just not my cup of fucking metal. But so I don't know if I consider the Black Album a sellout album. Definitely got popular, definitely commercial, but at least it was still playing metal music, and that's what they set out to do. But is it wimpy? Yeah. Is it commercialized? Yes. Did they make a shitload of money on it? Yes. Is that when they started getting super popular? Yes. But Load is like they're now changing their style intentionally to get fucking more fans, more listens, more sales, et cetera, et cetera. That's when you're a sellout. To me, if you're just become more commercial because people just enjoy your songs, and I guess they're like radio friendly, but it was this very similar, same style of music you set out to do. To me, that's not selling out. You just so happen to get fucking lucky / and then you're kind of tweaking your sounds over the years. I mean, because you know what I mean? That's why I don't consider, like, when people say Cannibal Corpse is a sellout. That doesn't make any sense. That literally makes zero sense. Getting big, even if Cannibal Corpse gets as big as Britney Spears, but they keep doing what they're doing, that's not selling out. No, they got popular doing what they're doing. Selling out is changing your thoughts, ideas, your music, whatever you set out to do. You're the artist, and you completely just change to sell more albums. Carcass, that's a sellout band. That's why they did putting out Heartwork and Swanson, which I actually do like those albums, but they're sellout records, total sellout records. That's a sellout band. Carcass is a sellout band. How is Cannibal Corpse a sellout band? Literally, explain to me how. Still a death metal band. No ballads, no keyboards, no fucking female vocals. I mean, I'm not saying like not pulling out. We don't care if you like keyboards or not. But Cannibal Corpse never used keyboards ever, and now all of a sudden they're throwing them in there. Clean vocals, none of that. Female vocals, love songs, none of that. Still sing about brutal topics, cannibalism, killing people, etc. Just like the first album. Growling vocals, just like the first album. Blast beats, fucking down-tuned guitar. What are you talking about? How'd they sell out? Because there's literally people in a couple of my comments. Cannibal Corpse are a sellout band when they're in Hot Topic. No, it's just Hot Topics. Like, oh, people buy this band, we're going to buy them. And so is Hell's Headbangers, if they start fucking getting really big, but we put out the same bands, they get huge, are we sellouts now? No, fucking if I'm still putting out bands like Entrails and shit like that, it's coming out, and then people want to buy it. Well, fuck yeah, the stuff that I love and I'm into, and I can make a good living off it, why the fuck wouldn't I? But if you now see us fucking signing Slipknot and all this other fucking shit that you know J-Dog hates, but he's doing it to make more money, that's selling out. That's the difference. So that's why I kind of don't consider the Black Album a sellout album, but I consider it commercially friendly, pussy as fuck. You're not into metal because you like the Black Album. Radio fucking friendly. Definitely a pussy album, but I don't know about a sellout album. Load is where I think they're sellout. Put in the comments, devils. What do you think is a sellout album based on the description I just gave? And what you think? Yeah, what do you think is selling out? Yeah, let's get that fucking top row. What's selling out? So is the Black Album the sellout album, or is the Load album the sellout album? Again, I don't fucking give a shit. I don't like some huge Black Album fan. Keep in mind, I just think it's a pretty enjoyable listen. Last time I listened to that, I'm not even exaggerating, it's probably 10 years ago. Literally probably 10 years ago. So it's not like a regular play. Just when I put it on, I'm like, oh, I kind of enjoy this. I could get into this. But it's not getting played over Cannibal, Gore Fest, fucking Sinister, Hemorrhage, fucking Sadistic Intent, Incantation, Immolation, Nunslaughter, Entrails, etc. It's not getting played over that. Not even fucking close ever. So keep that in mind. I'm not like sitting there sticking up for it, but I just call it like it is, goddammit. So let me know. What's the fucking sellout album by fucking shitty ass Metallica? And let me know what is considered selling out, and who do you consider some sellout bands? I said it. I think Carcass is a sellout band. Who do you think are some goddamn sellout bands? Put it in there, goddammit. Let me know in the comments as always, and tell everybody else to start fucking watching, too. And I'll see you tomorrow, goddammit. Later.